Well, hi everyone. Welcome back to Katarina's Garage. My name is Katarina Lloyd, and this time we're going to be delving into this carb here actually and seeing if all of my issues have just been because there's dust inside the carburetor. Because the one thing I didn't consider, when this carburetor sat for months, I didn't cover it up. And it was in my buddy's shop, which has a bunch of dust in it and stuff like that, and plus when you blow the air compressor and all that stuff in the shop, that it could actually have just a little bit of dust inside that might be having an impact on how this car not only cold starts, but also it might not be metering fuel correctly because of that. So I've got, good old CRC carb clean, and yeah, let's begin. So there are 4 screws that hold the top of this carb down. So let's just take those off now. It's easier to do when this is actually mounted to something, that's okay. And remember that the holes are different sizes, so what I like to do is just do that. With the bolts, I'm going to take it off, you'll see why I do that. Now, I will have to take off this little puppy here, which it requires a screwdriver, which is the Phillips. So I'll have to go get a small Phillips to do that, but that's okay. So this just requires, flathead screwdriver. You take these 4 off. Pretty simple. And do make care not to destroy the gasket. And what's interesting about this carburetor is it's a kind of a Frankenstein carb. So this was off of a 63 Galaxy and then put on my Mustang, to be honest. My buddy happened to have it in his collection, my buddy Roy. So as you can see, I can't really take this off because of the lever arm here. So what I need to do is, oh, actually, that is just perfect. So it wasn't actually tight at all. So, okay, well, that's kind of a bonus. And now I should, theoretically, be able to take this out, but I think to get this out, you have to, there we go, just like that. Perfect. Alright, now that I have that out, and just to make sure I don't lose that screw, hang on. Get it out of that, there we go. I'm just going to put the screw back into its slot, just ever so slightly. And there we go. Now that we're in the bowels of this carburetor here, I'm just going to take, actually before I do that, let me grab a paper towel so that I don't dirty up the gasket. There we go. So now that I have that laid out, I do this. Now there is still gasoline in here, which I should just dump back into the motor, to be honest, because it'll just fire right up after I'm done. Actually, let me just do that really quick. And I'll show you how these Motorcraft carbs actually work. See now, there, now it's back. So inside the carburetor here, you will see, how Motorcrafts are, and it's not too bad, to be honest. It's a bit of a pain in the ass to get to the jets, because, so you see the float that's right, so this is the float, and this kind of just meters of how much fuel actually is allowed in here. It's not different than like the float that's in your toilet, right? But that is also connected to, right here, the needle and seat, which you got to be very, very careful when taking this apart. So what I have to do here is, I'll just take my little screwdriver here. It's better if I had a pick, but that's okay. This will work too. And just very gently go like this and pry up. Pry up. Come on. There we go. Just like that. And this should just lift out like that. Now be very careful with your needle here, right? So now that that is out, we can see, oh yeah, that's right, I have 2 different sized jets in here. I forgot about that. So, and yeah, there is debris in the carburetor. So, alright, let's clean that. Because if you can see, because let's just take it off the stand here really quick and unzoom it out. So you can see, right down here, these are the 2 jets that are inside the carburetor. Like I said, they live underneath the float. But you can see just a little bit of debris and stuff like that in here. So I'm going to clean it out with some carb clean, and some paper towel. It'd be nice if I actually had air chucks, but I don't. I am actually gonna take the jets out too, which just requires, again, flathead screwdriver. So, and I have 2 different sized jets in here. You might think, well, why do I have 2 different sized jets in this carburetor? Well, I had to work with what I had, and to be honest, because it goes through the same hole, because it is through a 1-barrel adapter, it is okay. So first, come out of there. You get the jet out. Ooh, why is that so tight? I don't remember that being so tight. Well, let's just take out the easier one first. To be honest, it'd be nicer if I had a longer. Yeah, you know what? Let's get a longer flathead screwdriver. Hang on one moment. And, oh crap. Do not want to mess that stuff up. Okay. Hang on one moment. Let's find a better screwdriver. Ah, here we go. And now, because these were in my trunk and they're quite dirty, because actually I want to use this one instead. So you always just want to make sure when you're delving into a carburetor to have your tools nice and clean if you can, because you don't want to leave any more debris in there than what was already there. So with that in mind, all right. Now let's hope I can get this carburetor jet out, because it's, oh my god. There we go. Ooh, that's really... Those threads are a little crunchy in here. Doesn't feel as good coming out. But you can see why I was having a little bit of a problem there. Because right there, like it's a little bit stripped. So it's a little bit more of a pain in the ass. But okay, so I have that one out. Let's get the other one out. Come on. Come on, baby. If I had a wider base, this would be easier. Like, if I had the base that this one has on this one, you know, it'd be better, but I don't. I don't know where that specific one is, but that's okay. Oh, shit. Come on. It's a real pain in the ass. This one would be better? No, that one's worse. It's got to be this wide one, because the other one came out okay, but this one's just not. But the one thing is, because this just needs to be a tad longer because it's hitting the side here, but I should be able to make this work, hopefully. Okay. No, I can't get that one out. So I might just have to say screw it and do that, but let's get this debris out of here. Because alternatively, a thing that you can do, as long as you make sure that there's no gasoline in here, because there's still some technically in here, you can see it, but, which I can just, you know, give it throttle and it should come out. And there was still gas in the line, apparently. But yeah, so there is a bunch of debris in this carburetor, actually. Like, holy crap, there's a lot of it. So, okay. I just need a little paper towel. And see how much of this I can just wipe away. And how much of it I'm going to need, like, other things as well. Like, what I mean by that is, you know, I might need to break out some Q-tips from inside the house. And now, the beauty of it, though, is like, because carb clean is not going to harm the carburetor. There's a reason why it's called carb clean. It's, it works really well for this. It's a great cleaner. Just be careful with it, though, because, like, it is flammable and stuff like that. It's not corrosive, but it is flammable. So, just basically don't keep it by fire. Because, you know, that could be a bad thing. Okay, I'm gonna need probably some Q-tips, I think, for this. And also there's that little piece in here. There we go. Alright, I'm just going to grab a Q-tip really quick from inside to help me out a bit. Here we go. And now, it could take you quite a while to actually clean out a carb. Like, sometimes it's really quick, other times this can take a while. And this one I think is going to take a little longer. I can't get the one jet out, which sucks, but I'm going to take the Q-tip and just clean out that hole there. And just clean out the bells of the carburetor. And then I'm actually going to shoot the carb clean directly through the jets. Just to make that a little better too. I know, cause yeah, there's a lot of just debris in here. And cause to be honest, like carburetors are actually pretty simple. Like people think they're so complicated, but in reality, they're actually not too bad at all. To get some of these to run right can be a problem. Like Holly carbs as an example are notoriously a pain in the ass to get to run right. They're just a very, very finicky carb. And a lot of the carburetors work the same. Now, there are different styles of carburetor, like there are 2 barrels, 1 barrels, 4 barrels, even 3-barrel carburetors that I've seen. But 3 barrels is kind of weird. They were just a way to try and get economy and power at the same time. It didn't really work out all that well, although it did with the Civic CVCC. It cleverly actually had, you tuned the 2 sides of the carb separately from each other. And that's how they were able to get around needing a catalytic converter on those. Which was kind of neat. Because you set the one side to actually run lean, you ran the other side to be, well, not. Like, the other side was running rich, and then for some reason it worked. And it's a bizarre design on those CVCCs from the 70s. But so far, this is just working a treat. Now, I do still have some carb clean at the bottom of this carb after I was spraying it a bunch. I'm going to need to spray it a bunch more, to be honest, but yeah, it's just very simple, you know, all you're doing, it's so tedious, and you need to make sure you get every little speck out of here, because if you don't, it can get caught in your jets, you can get it caught in the metering block, whatever you got, or, you know, just in the entire fuel system, you just want to make sure that it's all good, and so far, this is actually cleaning up pretty good overall. It's but alternatively, like if I wanted to right now, I could just throw this in the dishwasher, wait about half an hour, pull it out. It should be clean for the most part. Although you'd want to take the electronic choke off because you don't want to wet the electronics that way. But I don't really want to dirty up my dishwasher because look at how filthy this thing is. So on the outside. So with that in mind, I am just going to, I have found, this is not going to cause any issues, but I found actually a crack where it is. This is interesting. So, if I look inside the carburetor here, this is not something I expected to find. So, as you can see, right down, you can see a crack right there. Right? And, which, that's annoying, but it's not going to cause any issues, to be honest. I wonder how that got cracked, to be honest. Like, was this carburetor dropped at some point, and that then just, forces just went to that, which is like a weakest point or something? I don't know. But, yeah, so, let's just continue to clean out this carburetor, because, like I said, it's a long process to do this. And there's a reason why, like a lot of the time, that I don't show the entire process of doing stuff because it can take a long time. Like this video will probably be, I don't know, half hour long or more. Because like I said, if I had an air chuck, this would work way easier, but I don't have one. And there's so much debris in the bottom of this. Hang on. I'm just going to dump out that carb clean here. There. Now I can get that debris out of the bottom of the carb with the Q-tip. It's just a real pain in the rear, you know, when it comes to this. And like I said, it's just very, very tedious. But like I said, you want to get every speck of dust out of this. Because you'd be surprised of what one little piece of dust will do to actually gum up a carburetor. It's really annoying. Yeah. Anyways, I'm not gonna record this whole thing. You know, but you get the gist of it, right? So I will get back to you when I'm done, hopefully. All right. So now I just gotta put this all back together really quick. So very easy. You know, I've already got 2 of them in. They're not tightened down yet, but I like to do them sort of hand tight before I go any further than that. All right, just like that, and good. Now the one thing is, because I've got a cut on my finger, you can see on my middle finger there, and unfortunately, getting brake clean in that is really damn annoying. It stings pretty good, but that's what happens. And now, so hopefully, like I said, this carburetor, I believe I got all the debris out, or if not, it's vastly improved for sure. Which, if you don't get it all out, you're not going to get everything back, but I will test this thing out when I'm done, because there was a few things that was going wrong with it, like so cold starts were a pain in the ass unless it was plugged into the block heater, which it's been plugged in, and like the engine is warm right now because again it's been plugged in. So I've not had this car running today, which in this cold start, hopefully the battery can keep up, because that battery, it's not as good. I kind of killed that battery, not intentionally, but it happens. And so yeah, now you don't need these too tight, but you need them tight enough to where they're not going to move around at all. There you go, just like that. All right. This one, because the easiest way to know if this one right here with the tension on it is tight enough is basically if you give it throttle and if this bracket doesn't turn, then you know you're good. Which I need to get a longer stud for this, which actually, yeah, that seems to be working good. So, all right, cool. Now very easy. Do that, and then I'll tighten up the one over here. Come on, there we go. Perfect. And yeah, because I should just get longer studs altogether, because I wouldn't mind maybe running a different spacer on this in the future. And because once I, because my PCV like is run to the spacer down here, and once I actually have a catch can, I'm gonna have to get rid of that spacer and do a different one, because it's set up for, like I said, that PCV, right? So, and then just this last one here, just tighten it up a bit. There you go. That should be okay, right there. All right, plug the choke back in, connect the fuel back. Then I'll need to grab the screwdriver off the deck because I left it there to put this hose clamp back on. There we go. Give me a second, I'll just grab that screwdriver. Alright, and now I'm just going to tighten the hose clamp here. Okay, that's not going anywhere. Alright. Now let's fire it up, although I need to grab the carb stud too, but I can grab that in a minute. So, alright. Let's see what it does. Make sure, yeah, got the throttle cable hooked up, everything else is hooked up. Make sure nothing is going to fall and damage anything. Alright, I'll grab the carb stud after, but I'm going to fire this thing up. And like I mentioned, this car has not been started today. So, and now, plus, it's going to have to pump fuel, actually, to the carb itself, because there is no fuel in that carb right now. So it's going to take a bit to do to fill up the float bowl. But it's better than the Holly, because the Holly you have to fill it all the way up before it actually does anything. But mine actually, you gotta fill it up from the bottom where the fill hole is. And actually make sure that that's just not gonna fall. There. My purse of tools. But yeah, so there's no point giving it any throttle. I just I know it's pumping fuel, but the one thing is, like I mentioned, my battery's a little weak. Which I've been having problems with that for a little while now, but it's just one of these things, right? Like, what can you do? I don't want to kill the battery doing that. Okay. Should be getting fuel. There we go. I needed to pump the gas a little bit. But, so, cool. So yeah, it runs. And once it's warmed up, I'll take this thing for a drive and see if that fixed it. Alright, all I've done is just driving around the block. So let's see if she feels any better. Like, she started to, I think that honestly did work, to be honest, but I won't know for sure until, like I said, I gotta play with it a bit more. Which just means I gotta turn here, but, because I wanna go that way. Which I would have gone the other way out of the lot and probably been already much closer to where I want to go, but it's one of these things where I want to be cautious of because like over there actually it's not you know, smooth. There's actually a bit of a drop off coming out of the thing, so I'm not sure if that's better or not. I'll have to, like I said, I've got a road that I like to make hits on because there's not typically a lot of traffic or people. So, but let's see here. Which I'm almost out of gas too, and because I was hoping actually the other day that I was going to sell some valve covers that I have. Because I have some 3v1 Cleveland Mickey Thompson valve covers. They're old school valve covers, to be honest. And you know, like I'm only asking $200 for them. There's a kid that actually, he's a fan of me on TikTok. He's only 14, and damn it, I can't make a hit properly because there's a car coming behind me. Damn. You know, I'll just wait for this next car to go, then I'll go, just in case if I stall or something. There's too many cars. Alright, well, this changes things a bit. Alright, we're just gonna go for a bit of a leisurely drive then, I guess. Or at least a little bit. Until I just turn around. Push down. Okay, so let's just drop it down to third. problem. Like, I could double check once I'm able to like launch it, and unfortunately, like there are cars, you know. But yeah, like I'm just gonna run to the end of the road and then turn around, and then once I get back to this point, you know, we'll do that. But yeah, so anyways, there was when I was talking about that thing with those valve covers. So I have these set of Mickey Thompson valve covers that need a little bit more cleanup work, but they're still in pretty good shape. Kid needed valve covers for 3 modified. Everything we've read says that, hey, modified or, you know, Cleveland valve covers should fit a modified. Well, it didn't really look to be the case 100% with the ones that, like the one that he brought, but it might just be a weird illusion to where you're trying to line it up with another valve cover, but it might just be that you might just need to put it on the motor to know for sure, because sometimes that's just the case, right? When you're dealing with like stock valve covers versus aftermarket valve covers, and sometimes, like I said, you just get that little optical illusion that way. But yeah, no, let's go for a nice leisurely drive along the road here. You know, the only thing you do have to watch out for is animals on this road, but other than that, you know, it's just a beautiful drive. Speaking of which, oh no, that's just a roadside decoration of deer, but so yeah. But this is like a nice drive. It just the road though is starting to slowly be not as great, but that's welcome to some back roads and stuff like that, right? That's just how they are. Like you sometimes can get back roads that are nice and smooth, other times there are back roads. Like this back road when I first drove it, oh, this was so smooth. But it's been a few years now, so just gonna slow down just a little bit because there is somebody walking the other way. Like you can see them there. But you know, because you always just want to make sure that's because like people do walk up and down this too, so. And like I said, animals are a problem here. Like I have seen on this road personally, I've seen moose, I've seen deer, I've seen coyotes, you know, I've seen the odd fox here too. So, and I'm pretty sure I've seen an elk on this road too. So again, you gotta be a little cautious, but it's really not too bad. And I'm just in fifth and just cruising at the moment, but you know, I could give it some more gas, but I don't know what's around the corner, so I'm not gonna do that. Because there are times that I do, but that's because I've already scouted it and make sure nobody's coming. But now this one, I can see everything. Gravel right up here, so I'm just gonna whip a UE on the gravel. And let's see, because now before I will know for sure, like if I launch it, which I can just launch it right here, to be honest, it's not a big deal. There's a little bit of gravel, but that's okay, or a little bit like rocks and stuff, but because there were times that I would just blip the gas and it would cause me issues. Nope, it's not fixed. It's nope. Which I may have not gotten everything out of the carburetor, but okay, let's see. When there's not like any gravel on the road though, to see sure, because that felt good though, actually. But doing that U-turn, I used to be able to do that U-turn without the car bogging, so and it's one of these things. But my power might be back, because that felt a lot better. But the thing is, like, this thing doesn't make a lot of power though. That's the thing. This car only makes, so when it had a 28-inch tall tires on it, which now it has only 24.9, I believe, inch tall tires on it, for winter, it would do, hang on, this brain's not working out. So it made 91 horsepower, 185 foot-pounds of torque. I have the dyno sheet actually in the glove box, but it's not really impressive numbers. It's pretty good for an inline six, but it's not like super impressive numbers, not yet. You know, because what's interesting though is like my Capri that has less modifications in this car actually made more horsepower but less torque, so it's kind of interesting. But like I should have made more horsepower in this car, I feel. With the manual transmission, it should have made more horsepower, but it just didn't. And it's possible that the Capri motor is slightly healthier, even though it has all the problems that it has. It just might be a slightly better motor overall. Because not that this is a bad motor, but sometimes, you know, you have like a pretty decent motor, then you have an even better one. And it just depends, right? It just depends. But, yeah, to be honest. So hopefully I can do that again. This time, because I dumped the clutch at just under 4,000 RPM, I'm going to try like 3,000, see what that does. Because, yeah, just checking everything. And I'm only turning my lights on right now so that I can actually see my gauges properly. But it's just one of these things, because, you know, normally, like, how I gauge when I need to turn my lights on is if I can see my gauges or not. Other people just don't know as much, and they rely on their newer cars with their automatic headlights, you know, or like their daytime running lights, and they don't realize that doesn't turn on your tail lights. It only just has your headlights on, which is like why they ever did daytime running lights is the stupidest thing. They should have just left it like this. Like, my old car is like this. It was just so much simpler. See, now, and the road is a little wet is actually more advantageous for me, too. Just because it's less likely to actually axle hop with the road being a little wet. So, alright, once I let that car go past, once it's around that S-turn back there that I just passed, that's one thing, you know, I make sure that the road is empty and I can see like a ways out this way. That's why I do it here as opposed to like anywhere else around here. There are other roads, but I like this one. So, alright, this side's 3,000 RPM. Hang on, right. Oh, see, it bogged. So, okay, let's try the 4,000 RPM one again. See, and it bogged. You saw that, right? But it's actually feeling pretty good, to be honest. Like, it's not amazing, but it's not too bad. Like I said, this is definitely better than it was. So, well, there we go. So, okay, there's still more investigation to be done because it shouldn't be bogging like that on the launch, right? I still don't think I have 100% power, but it does feel a little better. So, maybe it's just I didn't get all the debris out of the carburetor, I just got the bulk of it. So yeah, it's one of these things, and I know it's not a fuel delivery issue, because otherwise I wouldn't really be able to rev it that high to begin with. And like I said, I cleaned out the entire carburetor, so that should be okay, but you never know, right? You never know. But that'll do it for this video. longer than I was anticipating, but you know, you may have learned something from this, to be honest. And like, and how motorcraft carbs are put together, they're actually very simple, and to get them back together is very, very simple. You know, which it might, because who knows, maybe it's just a slight float adjustment that it needs, or something like that. I don't know. I haven't really raced with this carburetor, but it's one of these things, because when I went to the track, it wasn't with this car, or with this carb, it was with the Holly, which on the Holly gave me nothing but problems. I didn't even have full throttle either with the Holly at the time. But, and see, like you saw that little bit of a bog there? Like, I don't know why it does that, to be honest. It's a bit confusing, but that is what it is. So, anyways, I'm going to wrap up the video very shortly here, just once I get back to that lot that I was at. I'm going to, yeah, like I said, end the video. So, I hope you guys did enjoy this. If you did, please like the video, comment on anything you want to see down below. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and as well, if you want to contact me, you can at Katarina.garage on Instagram, Katarina's Garage on Facebook. As well, follow me on TikTok at Katarina.garage as well. I do a lot of live streams on there as well, so if you want to chat cars or whatever on there, we'll listen to music and just have a good time. So, anyways, yeah, stay safe, have fun, and I'll catch you in the next one.